Okay, I'm sorry.
Welcome to Between the Pages. I'm your girl Markayla, and tonight we have the one and only authoress Alecia J. How are you
Hello.
doing?
Good, good, good. How are y'all? How are you?
Doing good, doing good. Where you joining us from tonight?
I I'm in Columbus, Mississippi. You probably ain't never heard of it. It's a little, not a small town, but not really heard of. It's the closest you'll probably know about is Jackson, Mississippi.
Well, my
So,
husband's from Mississippi, so yeah, he's from Macomb in Town.
and who?
Town.
See, I ain't never heard of it.
Yeah, they at the bottom. Like I mean, once we get to
Never heard.
Hattiesburg, we still got like an
Okay,
hour.
well, Hattiesburg, then like Jackson, yeah. So I'm closer to Hattiesburg than I am Jackson. I don't know why I said
We
Jackson,
when I
but yeah.
get to Hattiesburg, I'll be like, oh God, we done made it. No, we still got like an hour and some change to go. No. And that is the longest drive. That's 11 hours for us.
And where y'all from?
Hey,
Originally?
I'm from up
What?
here. I'm from North Carolina, but my husband's from Mississippi.
Oh,
Yeah, and we go down there at least once a year. So
girl, bless y'all heart. Bless your heart.
yeah, yeah,
Let me
yeah,
look that
yeah.
up because I never heard of that.
Town and Macomb, I don't know. I mean, it's like a fine line right there. They go from speaking kind of like how you talking, and then
Yeah.
to go to speaking baby, and well, yeah, heard me. Yeah. And I'll be like, we just crossed the street. I'll be like,
Yeah.
we
You
literally.
know, and people tell me, they be like, you sound this one. I'm like, I sound. Like,
Mhm.
I sound. But I guess I can't hear myself talking. So, because you sound different to me. Like, even though you from North Carolina. But people be like, you got that Southern. And I'm like, Southern accent. No,
When I
I
first
just,
met his family, they say they called me country, and I was like, how dare y'all? How dare y'all call me country? And like they was like, man, you are really country, and I'm like, I'm country. You from
yeah,
Mississippi? You
girl.
can't say I'm country. I'm not country. Miss Alicia, your pen game has been strong, honey. Let me tell you. How long you been writing?
I have been writing for 2 years now. It'll be 3 in May of next year. Yeah.
Mhm. And how many books you got in that catalog, girl?
Girl. I got 14 and counting.
14? Listen,
Mhm.
y'all be pushing them pens.
14. But you know what's funny? I always say I wrote more than 14 books because my books are long, like
Uh-huh.
extremely long.
Yeah, that,
So I always say I wrote more books than, what's in my catalog. But it's just a joke. Just a joke. But 14, girl.
no, for real, because like they be giving like about 150 pages sometimes. And I mean, yeah, you giving two books, baby. But
Man,
two
yeah.
books in one of entertainment
Yes,
per
because I
page.
think I think Beautiful Lies from a Hit. I don't know if you read that book for me, but the second part was like 178K. That's just the book. That's just the second part. Yes.
Girl, what you be doing?
I just
You just
don't
be
get that
talking.
up.
That's
I'll just be writing. I just be writing. And this last book, Idris in Italy, it
uh-huh.
was 130K. So yeah. I be
Good though.
writing, girl. I be
We're
writing.
gonna dive all into that and just a little bit later. But
Mhm.
what inspired you? How you got started writing?
Well, my love for reading, of course.
Yeah.
I always say, um, you can't be a writer if you don't read. And I say that because that's just my opinion of mine. I don't know an author who wasn't a reader before they started writing. So in my opinion, it'll just be hard to do because you really don't know what to go off of.
Right.
Um, so yeah, my love for reading, that's number one, of course. Um, secondly, um, I was at a job for 10 years, and I was just getting like burnt out. And I just kept wondering, like, I was like, God, like, why am I getting like this at this point? Why am I feeling like this? And I just kept, it was like he just kept telling me, because you don't supposed to be doing this. You don't supposed to be doing this. You're not supposed to be here. So that's when I said, I kept saying, like, what I supposed to be doing then. And as I'm reading, I keep telling myself, girl, write your own book. Write your own book. So I said, let me just play around with it. So in December of 2020, I just started, putting some on paper. And I'm like, I'm just gonna play around with it. Serious.
Yeah.
Do something with this. So, I made it into a book. And in April 2001, I quit my job of 10 years. And in May, I put my first book out.
So you was
So
like, I gotta get this done. Now I done quit now.
I was just burnt out, and I was look. I'm just telling you, I was just burnt. I was to the point like I can tell you something. You might think I'm lying. This day I went into work. I prayed the day before that, and I asked God. I said, God, if it's a sign, just give me a sign that I need that I'm supposed to be here no more. Just give me some sign. I swear, girl, I swear. I had the worst day at work ever that day. And I put my 2-week notice in.
That day.
That
Say that was your sign.
day.
That was your
I
sign. Let
asked
me ask
for
you
it.
this.
I asked for it and God delivered, baby. You
Let me
did.
ask you this. So do some of them old co-workers read your books?
Oh yeah, they do.
Mm-hmm.
They do. They really do. You know what? It's funny because I got another full-time job now. I still write. But I have to go to that facility now for my job.
Okay.
But I still talk to them and everything. And they be like, oh, just keep on writing your books. And, everybody's just real proud of me. So
Mm-hmm.
it still worked out for me. It still worked out.
Yes. And you enjoy what you do now, right?
I do. I do. I do. Oh, you talking about the job? Why?
Both
Oh,
writing
oh,
and
yeah.
the
Oh,
job
yes,
now.
girl. Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Oh,
Yeah.
yes, 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 yes.
So who was your biggest inspiration on this journey?
Um, you know what? It's not an author.
Okay.
It's not. And I know you probably, a lot of people probably say, oh, my business is an author. It's not for
No, it
me.
be parents, mama, yeah, you, whoever.
Well, okay, well, it's not for me, and it's not a woman. It's a
Okay.
man,
Okay.
Steve Harvey, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Definitely.
I don't know if you listened to his testimony of how he became successful.
Yes.
Okay, well, yeah. So one one day, I'm sorry. One day, a few months ago, I don't know. Actually, when I started this job I have now, I travel a lot. So I said, well, let me just listen to something inspirational. And that's what I do every morning now. I listen to something inspirational to get my day started. So I started listening to his testimony. And, I just broke out in tears, like while driving, just listening to him. And it's like, now, I'm saying now, like my inspiration now. If you asked me this about when I first started writing, I probably would have told you somebody else different. But now, and it's like he literally, like I told you, I quit my job. He
Mhm.
quit his job and pursued his dreams. And
Mhm.
it's like nobody believed in him but his daddy, he said. He said nobody but his daddy believed in him. And even his mom was telling him that was crazy for you to quit your job, to do this. So it's like a lot of similarities of what he went through, I did too. So now it's like every morning when I'm going to work, I'm listening to some motivation about him.
Yeah.
And he is just that his testimony is just it is a real inspiration to me to keep going. So yes,
That's good.
that's my
Already, I
inspiration.
started motivational speaking because of Les Brown. I don't know if you listen to him, but
Who?
Les Brown is a motivational speaker. He's really, 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 really good. I started listening to Les Brown and then TD Jakes and stuff like that, like the motivational part, and then like, I just like literally started following his journey, Les Brown's journey.
Mm-hmm.
And I too was working at corporate. But I didn't, I had to come off because of health issues. And I loved every day of my job. It was just stressful. I
Right.
had to come off to health issues. And then like I was like, I started this thing. I was like, well, I want to help people with mental health. Like I just want to like they mind mentally. I just want to be there. And so
Right.
like I started the podcast of another podcast online called A Mindful of Battles. And I just got on there and talked about mental stuff, battles of the mind. And I know the feeling of like spiritual connections and like being driven by some words and just like taking that leap, because coming off your job is scary. It's
It
scary.
is.
And
It
for
is.
2 years, I was like, oh Lord, like
It
everything that I
is.
thought could go wrong with my health had started going wrong with my health. Couldn't walk, couldn't move, couldn't, was on crutches in the walker,
Ooh.
everything. And I was just like, oh God, like I don't know what to do. I'm newly married and stuff and stuff. So I understand like the scary part, but being able to have something to fall back on it, writing is a way, it's a therapy. It's therapy. And
It
then y'all
is.
is like motivating people through the pen.
It is. It is. That's why in my books I always try to drop gems for people, and that's
Mhm.
something that people can take away when they read my books. I'm gonna give y'all a little laugh, but y'all gonna always get something to take away from my books. So yeah,
How
I'm
many books have
scared.
you written now? You said 20.
Mm-mm.
How many
Four-
books?
14.
14
14. Mm-hmm.
in in
Girl,
in 3 years.
2.5. Yeah,
Two.
2.5.
That's a lot of books. That's a lot of
Yeah,
books. How did you come up
yeah.
with your subjects?
How do I come up with my subjects?
Uh-huh.
So I try to write, I'm not gonna say with all of my books, but I know with at least one, two, three. I know with at least three other books I wrote. I wrote them out of the norm, meaning these were storylines that I had never heard of, never seen anybody write about. So, the way I come up with, yeah, that's how I come up with. Well, I try to write. I try to write what the readers love. A lot of readers love when you writing urban fiction. A lot of readers love all that hood talk and that. So I try.
Toxic, everything. Yep.
Yes, I try. I try to, even if I'm writing, like one of my books was a tearjerker, and I still somehow managed to throw in a little hood. So, and I was trying to stay away from that, but I still managed to do that some kind of way. But I do try to write what readers love about. At the same time, I try to step away from that and give them something that they not used to, because there are readers out there who are always saying, well, I want to read something different. I want to try something different. So I'm like, if I see a subject or something, if a topic comes up that I was like, I never read about this, I never seen another author write about it, I'm gonna try to write about this. So, and I do, if I can master it. But every time I done came up with a storyline that I don't think I've seen, or other readers say I've never seen, then yeah, I try to go with it. Yeah. So
I like the way you said that, because sometimes we be looking at a book, like you said, you was a reader first. So you
mhm.
be wanting to change the story. You be like,
Yeah.
man, I want to change this story. So you just start
Yeah.
writing your own.
Yeah, you do. And I be like, I can do this, but maybe a little bit better. But
Yeah.
maybe make a little changes. But and that's what I tell people like when they reading books, like I said authors is other author. I was like, you gotta understand no two people are gonna read your book the same way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna read a book the same way. I'm not gonna look at a book the same way you do. So that's just something that you gotta always remember. So
Are your
yeah.
characters normally based on like real life people? You just make them up.
Majority of my books are just made up.
Mhm.
However, my first book, there's a character in my first book. She was inspired by my aunt because my aunt had breast cancer, but their ages were they differed. So I wouldn't necessarily say maybe just her condition inspired me to write about breast cancer, but not necessarily the character itself.
And
If
what's
that
the
makes
name of
sense.
that book?
Expecting the Princess Heir.
Okay. Okay.
That was my very first book. Very first one.
Is it still close to your heart?
It is. That's actually my favorite, and I'm not just saying this favorite book series that I wrote. And I'm not just saying it because that's the first book I wrote, but I don't know. It's just something about those characters just is real. And again, it could be because of, that specific character in that book. Um, because of my aunt. So that could be it too. But I really, really, really love that series. Like really, really. But yeah. When people ask me what my favorite books that I love all my books are my babies, but that one is real dear to my heart. So yeah.
Well, that
Yeah.
is a question. That is one of the questions. Which one your favorite? So, I mean, well, since you answered that, what genre you like to write in? What's
Would
your
I
favorite
like
genre?
to?
Yeah, what's your favorite?
Which that I write in or would like to write in?
That you write in.
Urban fiction, girl. Urban
Now, which one would
fiction.
you like to write in?
Um, I have thought about paranormal, but you got to do a lot of research when you're doing paranormal because I seen somebody eat a girl offer up because she's like, what was she saying? She was like, I don't know, something about the main process or something. I don't really. I read the books, but I still in order writing and reading is two different things. So
Uh-huh.
you have to go do all that research. But I don't know. Some girl ate another girl up because she messed up with the I don't know. And I was like, oh my god.
They deep
So
in it. They deep
they are.
paranormal, like they deep paranormal fans. And if you is not saying the right thing, don't think you
Yeah,
just gonna make some
yeah.
stuff up. No,
Yeah, that's why I
no.
said, "Ooh, girl, if I ever did that, I probably have to take I don't know how much time off of writing just to focus solely on it. So, to get that right. So, but yeah, if it was anyone that I would love to write in, it would definitely be paranormal. I'm still thinking about doing it. It's just a thought now, but
Do it.
I'm
Do
thinking
it. I mean,
hard on it.
create your own world, though. Create
Yeah,
your own world. That way, ain't nobody can criticize nothing with your own
yeah,
people and the people
that's
you
right.
create. I don't care what they robots or not,
That's right.
werewolves or not. Like, create your
That's
own.
right.
Yes,
That's
that's the whole
right,
point of
girl.
writing, the different styles and why people read. And yes, create your own world. So,
Right.
so you haven't written in paranormal, but would like to write in paranormal. Do you read paranormal?
Of course, girl. Girl,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna save your books up. What do you mean?
Natalia
Yes.
is really,
Now
really
I'm like
talented with the pen.
she is, and I also read Jade Royal books.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I read her paranormal books, but girl, yes. I love paranormal. Yes.
Yes, I like
Right.
I like Natavia's paranormal. I like E. Bowser's paranormal. Niecy P.
Oh yeah, Niecy P. I love
Yeah,
her.
it's a couple
I
of them that's
I
pretty
never
on.
read E-Browsers,
Yeah.
but I have everybody else you mentioned. But girl, yes, I love me some paranormal, honey. Love me some paranormal.
Do you have an author that you look up to or mentors you,
Um,
or that you just like that's my favorite author?
I won't say mentor or just I won't say mentor, but Tina J is like my favorite overall author. And I guess because she is really one of the authors that I started reading,
Mm-hmm,
like when I got deep into reading,
mm-hmm,
she was one of the first. I also love Jessica Watkins' books.
mm-hmm.
I love them. They give me a different feel. It's just something
Ooh.
different when you read her books. Who else? Um, if I want a good laugh, I read AJ Johnson and Latoya Nicole books.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
If
Yeah.
I want to, if I'm like want a whole weekend and just get swamped in a book, a long book, Chanel Parker. I love her books. And
Do
of
you like
course,
the mushy stuff?
Natalia.
Are you a mushy
Yeah.
book reader too?
Mushy.
Yeah, like
I
contemporary romance. So it's need to be some.
no, and that's fine. I'm not.
Mhm.
I'm
I'm not mushy either. So yeah.
mushy. Like I don't got to wear like I like these hard. I like you know, I don't like all this soft. You know, I don't like and some of them are really, really, really good. I just gotta have some cursing or something. I need that man to be a little rough. I think that's how I make my characters now. And I'm trying to and I'll be wanting to slow down a little bit. But I be like, nah, ain't nobody going to read. But people do read it, but
They
you
do
know,
read it. I get
they
what you're
do
saying
read
though.
it. They do read it, but it's just me as a person. Like, nah, I gotta make him a little rougher. I gotta make him a little meaner. I gotta do this, and I'm like, nah, everybody don't want to read that. And then, you know, it's I don't know,
I
but
go through my moments where I call them toxic Negroes withdrawals. I be me and toxic nigga. I be what are y'all doing? Kill somebody, call a cleanup crew, like do
yeah,
one of them. Like, yeah, where is the
yeah,
toxic people? Yeah,
yeah,
but as people writing changes and they evolve as a writer, they change they
they
writing
do,
style. And so
they do.
I'll be like, oh God, y'all still gotta leave something for the hood lovers.
Yes,
The
girl,
toxic,
I
toxic
be
lovers.
and I mean, and I don't know, I, I think I used to, but as I evolved, not even as a writer, just a reader, I done got stuck. You know, I just be wanting to read some hood ratchet stuff sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, but I really like. I'm really leaning towards like mafia romance. Now, if I read some, it'll be like mafia romance. He
Mm-hmm.
still need to be a little rough.
Yeah.
So that don't mean yeah. So yeah, I like it.
Now, you
But
say you work and you write on a typical day. How much do you write?
I mean typical day, Monday through Friday. I'm gonna say Monday through Thursday because Fridays are my short days at work. Monday through Friday, um, I can probably on a good day get 3 hours of writing. And that's not a lot for me because I I tend to do a lot of research before I start writing. So I
Yeah.
need to know what I'm writing about. You know, I have an outline and all that I go by. So um that takes up a lot of time. So for a normal person, they can probably, somebody who's just right, they can probably get I don't know how many words in, but with me, it's not a lot because I spend so much time researching stuff. Like anytime, like if a hospital scene come up, I'm researching like what they
Mm-hmm.
do there. I'm researching everything, and there was a lot of people. How you know all this? It's because I researched. I research everything detail for detail. And the book I'm writing now, it deals with hospice, and I work with hospice. And even though I work with hospice, I'm not a nurse. So I don't know the girl, the main character, she's a nurse. So I'm having to ask my nurse, like, hey, what is this? How you do this and how you do that? So I do a lot of research before I
So
just
yeah.
start writing. So
I'm
yeah.
glad you said that because a lot of writers, a lot of ones that I work with as well, they freestyle writers, and then you have outline writers. And
Mm-hmm.
I heard you mention, you say you outline your work. Is that a way for you to keep track
I
of?
out huh? I'm
Is
sorry.
that a way you keep track of your scenes and everything is by outlining
Mm-hmm.
it? Because
Yeah. I
it's some
feel
people
like
just
if I
write.
don't, yeah, I because you have to do too much backtrack. You like, oh, I should have put that there. And I'm not
Uh-huh.
gonna say all the time. I outline day by day. What I mean by that is I don't write out a full book of outline a
Mm-hmm.
full book because that's impossible. It's not impossible because you're still gonna end up adding stuff, but it's too much because, like I said, you're gonna end up adding some or deleting, taking some away. So I just go day by day. After I finish that day, I'll outline what I'm gonna write the next day or whenever I start back writing. So that was works for me, you know. That's
For
what
you, what is the most difficult part about writing?
time management now. Time management, honey. Like I said, I just started back working in August. So before then it was I didn't really have no issues. But now I have to with my new job, I have to be up at like I had to be up at like 4 o'clock for work. Um and sometimes I don't get off to like 2:30. So imagine me doing that, having to come home. Then I have to go to workout on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays at 3. So by the time I get home, I'm having to cook some time. And, then I got to try to squeeze in writing. So, and I'm forcing myself to do that. But really this month, because the book I'm writing now, I kind of got to put it out this month because
Okay. So
it's
you
a
do got
book.
something dropping this month too.
Oh, yeah.
So we're
Oh,
gonna get
yeah,
into that.
girl.
We're gonna get all into that,
Oh,
honey.
yeah,
But
girl.
right now it's game time.
Dang, honey.
It's game time. Yes. And so I will ask you some questions and you will tell me this or that. I'll tell you the name of the question is this or that. The name of that game is this or that. And you'll tell me which one you choose. So this or
Okay.
that. Okay. So this or that, arranged marriage or one night stand.
Hmm. Mm. Oh, mm. A one night stand. I want to say because I like both.
Uh-huh.
A one night stand, definitely. Yeah.
One night stand. One night
Hmm.
stand for you. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. This or that. I rather have the boss or I want the hitter.
The boss, baby. Well, because the boss probably hit her too. So yes, girl, the boss. If it not, he can hire a hitter. He can hire one.
So you a high hitter?
Yeah, he can
Okay.
hire a hitter.
This or that for me. Netflix or Tubi.
Girl, Tubi, honey. And then
Look,
Tubi.
y'all be killing
Look,
me with these little.
look. Now I'm gonna say now, if I really I start sleeping on Tubi, I be trying to tell my sister, and they just be getting on me, girl. They be like, "You in this too?" And I say, "I'm sticking beside them. I'm gonna stick beside them." Like they do be messing up sometimes, but you just gotta find the right stuff. That's why I think a lot of people just go on there and they just click on stuff. But if you really just go through their little gallery or whatever,
Mhm.
and you pick the right movie, girl, you would be addicted. You'll be
Yeah.
addicted. Now, I still love Netflix. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, I love my Tubi girl.
I
I
was
love my
before I
Tubi.
came up here and got ready and everything. I had put on a Tubi movie, and I think my homegirl, Macy, she was telling me about it. She's like, I was telling like what should I watch? Because I don't watch TV anymore. I read
Uh-huh.
all day long,
Uh-huh.
or I'm
I
working
see
reading. So
you
yeah,
had 600 books read.
yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you. So I that's all I do. And so I don't get to live my life anymore. But it was Safe Word. It's on Tubi. And my husband
Safe
came like, what you
word.
got? Yeah, it's Safe Word. It's a thriller, but it's like sex
Oh, I like
dungeons
it.
and
I
everything
was,
like that. And it was like, what is you in here watching? It's like you
oh, that's
watching stuff. Yeah, so I
yeah.
paused it so I can come up here because there was a whole lot going on in that movie. And then
Yeah.
when somebody's not acting right, my husband will walk out. He'd be like, the acting on Tubi is just trash.
You
Yeah,
just
so
gotta, you just gotta
I
find the right
look
one.
Tubi.
That's
Some
it.
people be sticking by that Tubi now. Listen,
I am. Ain't nobody gonna, nah, I'm gonna stick beside him, baby. I'm gonna stick beside them. I just have to
this,
find the right one. They be making me mad now. I'll be like, y'all gotta do better. Nah, I'm gonna stick
yeah, they be
beside
having
him.
the cameraman in the camera, right?
Girl.
Yes.
They do. But you just
This
gotta find the
or
right
that. The
one.
next one is summertime fling. So you only get to pick one. Summertime fling or wintertime cuddle buddy.
Wintertime cuddle buddy, definitely.
So you got to get rid of them by the summer.
Yeah, you gotta get rid of them by the summer, but
Oh my
yeah,
God, Lord Jesus.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But
Last
wintertime,
one.
and I said once because it's my favorite season.
Winter.
But yes, girl, I love winter. Everybody be like, how? Because I hate
Mm-hmm.
summer. I hate being hot. I
Mm-hmm.
hate, I just hate heat. I hate it. Like, I hate it. I don't know. Not me. But,
Yeah.
mm-mm, mm-mm.
I
I
mean,
love
I'm
winter.
good with I'm good with fall. I don't too much care about anything. I just like the dressing in winter.
I think maybe that's what it
Summertime,
is with me
not so
too.
much. Huh?
Maybe that's what it is with me too.
Yeah,
But
I like the
I
dressing.
love winter. I just love the cold. I don't like to be cold, but you can wrap up. In the summertime, you just got to take your clothes off or something. And I don't like all that. I don't like all that hot sweating, and I don't like that. I don't like it. So yeah, winter me, please.
One, two, please. All right.
Yes.
This or that. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Idris or Romeo?
Romeo, hands down.
Tell me why.
Romeo.
Tell me about
Cause
Romeo.
I already told you like I like a boss.
Uh-huh.
I already told you that. And then I told you that I like mafia romance, and he was a mafia boss. So
Yes.
I don't know, it's just something about the way the authority that he got, baby. And
Yes.
Idris was Idris wasn't like Romeo. No,
No.
he was more easygoing. But Romeo, like he just didn't play, and I like those kind of niggas. Like, you tell me to shut up, I'm gonna go sit down in the corner somewhere. I like that. I like to read. I love to read about that. Like, I like
Mhm.
to write about it. I think that's why I like to write about it so much. I like to read about it. But yeah, Romeo, baby, hands down, Romeo.
Tell me about Romeo's Remedy. How do you even came up with the story? Because that's how we got introduced to Idris in Italy.
Okay, so how I came up with now this goes back to me saying that I try to step out of the norm.
Mm-hmm.
So you read the book, you know
Yes.
what happened with him.
Yes.
And that's another thing. When I wrote about this subject with him, um, I was just running. Of course, I started because I always told people I want to write about a mafia boss. I kept saying that. I said, one day I'm write about a mafia boss. So boom, Romeo came along. I seen a little visual. I said, "Ooh, he the perfect one. I'm gonna write about him." So he was just too perfect though when I started writing. So I was like, and actually I didn't know. Like I knew I was gonna throw something, some kind of curveball in there. But I was like, nah, he just can't be perfect. I need to make him imperfect some kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
So when I thought about that, ooh, I
Ooh,
said, that
yeah. Ooh,
is
yeah. Ooh, he's
perfect.
right.
I said, that's the perfect thing. So as I was writing, I threw that in there. And of course the other little family issues with Remy and Mama and um, you know, Idris in Italy.
Mhm.
Um, how did I add them? Why did I add them in the book?
I love
Well,
how you add them though.
huh?
I loved how you add them.
Well, yeah, in my books, I always, and somebody was asking me this last night or the other day. They was like, "How you make your character so funny?" I said, "Because I'm a funny person." I said, "In real life, like I really am. Like that's me." I said, "When y'all reading about these characters, y'all kind of reading about my life, like how I am as a person, my
Mhm.
personality." And I was like, "So when." Well, I'm talking about Idris in the book, not so much Romeo's Remedy. Um, but yeah, that book, yeah, I just really, the way I came up with that book was I just really wanted to write about a mafia boss. That was the
Mhm.
whole purpose of me writing about that book.
Mhm.
It wasn't even so much about what he had going on at the time, what made me start writing about the book, but it all played together, you know. So,
It did. It did.
yeah,
So if you have not listened, the complete series is out now.
yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yes, the complete series out. We read Romeo's Remedy 1 and 2 on Book Besties.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then everybody was asking about Idris, and you brought him back.
I
And
did. I did. Well,
him,
I had to though.
yes, yes, I
I
agree.
had. Oh, what you say? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I said I agree.
Yeah, I had to because I mean it didn't end. So people had too many questions about them, and then of course with what was going on with Italy and the letters that was left unanswered. So of course I'm not gonna leave no book unanswered like that. So I was like, yeah, they gotta have their own book. They needed their own book though, because they needed their own book. So um I had to bring them back. And I'm kind of glad I did because a lot of people, which is I still love
Mm-hmm,
Romeo's Remedy,
mm-hmm,
but a lot of people love Idris and Italy book more
mm-hmm,
than they did Romeo's Remedy. That's just, and that's fine, everybody had a preference, but a lot of people love that book more than Romeo's Remedy. But you can't read one without the other, so
mm-hmm. I know,
hey.
right?
But yeah, I and people were asking me like, well, are you gonna bring Royce back? No, 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 no. I actually had this discussion last night with the ladies in my group because we did a book discussion on Egypt and Italy. And it was like one or two who was like, yeah, you need to bring Royce back. Because how was they saying it? I want to know more about him and Vanity, yeah, yeah, yeah. Then everybody else was like, no, no, they good, no. And I'm like, I agree with y'all. I'm the type I don't like to keep going on books. Like I don't even really
Right.
like doing spin-offs. So if I do a spin-off, it's like, okay, this is really needed. I don't like just doing spin-offs because
Somebody
people,
asking for him, or
yes,
they, yeah.
yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's not necessary. Idris and Illa book was necessary because again they had unanswered questions at the end of Romeo's Remedy. But you know, Royce and Vanity, no. So if anybody watching, no, they're not. Nah, I ain't gonna say they won't because then I can come back a whole year from now and say, oh yeah, they finna get a book. Because that's probably, but I don't have a storyline for them. Like nothing is there right now. So
Are you
mm-mm.
done with this crew? Are you done with this family? You think you
Yeah,
are? No kids getting older.
Mm-mm.
I know nothing.
Because what people don't understand is, and I'm finna do this with one of my books that I brought out last year. I'm finna do a spinoff, but everybody been knew about that spinoff. What people, a lot of readers don't understand is, and some authors may not do it, but I'm going back reading over my work because ain't nobody can come to me saying, "Oh, you forgot this. I thought this happened in this book," and so this is the book I was telling you is the longest book that I wrote. So I gotta go back and read. I don't know how many pages that is. I don't even know how many pages that is. I really don't go back and read my books after because I pretty much read them like 1,000 times when I was writing them. So
Mhm.
that's what I say. But yeah, we have to go back. Well, I do. Go back and read these books when we doing spin-offs just to make sure, we didn't miss nothing or something. So, and that's a lot, like, especially when you still trying to write another book, but you trying to go back and read this book, it's a lot. So, no, I'm not. A year from now, I've been and forgot. I ain't gonna say I've been and forgot the storyline, but I'm not gonna remember what she did on this day. And I had to go back and read all that over again. So, no,
I understand because
no,
like even when a series come out and it takes so long to come out, I'll be like, with me anyway, I done forgot the book. I done forgot
yeah,
the
yeah,
book.
yeah,
I done forgot what happened. Now I feel like I gotta go back and read book one.
yes.
Because they may have took a year to do book three. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh man, yeah, I gotta go way back. How long it
Yeah.
normally take you to write a book?
It's a tricky question. It is because I gotta I gotta answer this based on me working now.
Yeah,
Now
and
when
you do a lot of research.
yeah, and now when I wasn't working, and I was just writing, um, again, it all depends on if I'm doing. Can't really answer it because let me see. Let me see. Okay. So like Romeo's Remedy. I put that book out on my quote July. I put the second part out in August. Ask me how long it took to put Aegis and Italy book out because I started back working in August. So you see the difference. It took about 4 months. No, 3 months. Yeah, 3 months.
That's I mean, but
So
it really was a spinoff too, so
it was, but I didn't have to go back. I didn't have to go back and read nothing with Romeo's Room because it was fresh.
yeah.
It was kind of fresh. So I would have been, I probably would have had each and every book. I'm not gonna say a month because again, it was long. Probably 6 weeks if I'm focused and if that's the only thing I'm focusing on. Now, when I'm having to work and I'm just gonna say work. I ain't gonna say my personal life, but just work. I mean, personal life, like home life. Um, but if I'm working, that takes the time away that I would normally write.
Mhm.
So, mm, if I'm real focused on a book, it depends on how long it is with me. Because, like I said, I don't write the average word count book. Most people write like 45K or less, maybe a little bit more over that. I'm writing 100K books.
Mhm.
So that's kind of the difference. So
Yeah.
mm, it just depends.
Okay.
I
Okay, we
can't
will
give
leave
a
it at that.
I can't give a definite answer for that.
Well, let me ask you this. How long have you been working on the book that you're working on now that's coming out this month?
I started this week, but I wrote this. I wrote like 70% of this book on my phone.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay.
So
Let's talk about that because I get so many authors be like, oh, I'm gonna just write it on my phone. I'm like, huh? And like, yeah, girl, I'm gonna just write. I'll be like, I can't. I tried it. I can't do it.
Okay, I've never did this neither. Until this book. When I tell you this storyline that for this book just came out of nowhere, like one day. And I was like, oh, I gotta write about this. Oh, I gotta write about this. And I wasn't in a place where I can just stop and like get on my computer. So I just got in my little notes and I just started writing. And
Mm-hmm.
even when I'm at work, when I was at work, I did majority of it while I was at work. That's why I was on my phone because I was working. So I was just anytime something came to my, I was just writing. I was just writing until I got to like a point. I was like, I gotta get this off of here and put it on some paper. So, but I really didn't want to, I don't like writing two books at the same time. So maybe that's why I didn't try to put it on because I knew I would have wrote more on the computer because when I was writing it in my notes, I wasn't writing like a full chapter. I was writing like a sentence or something. And I say, I know what to write after this. You know,
Mm-hmm.
something that'll just keep me going. Like when I do put it, I know what goes after that. So, but it was still like 7% of the book. Yeah. So I got like 70% of the book. I copied and pasted and I printed it out. So it's like a booklet. But now, adding what I need to add to it. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why it shouldn't take it won't take me long to put this one out. Because
I
most
was
of it already.
you guys, if y'all listening in, you gotta be from her area to know what the ooh they had this everything is ooh like that ooh child baby. And I'm laughing over here because I'm like, shit, every time I talk to my husband, ooh, and I be like, it's a thing.
It is.
And they
It
have
is.
we've been married 10 years and I'd be like, oh, you should have listened. He'd be like, you know
It
me
is.
talking to them. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's a thing. It's a thing. So tell
Girl,
me
we
about
have so
you,
much
huh?
lying down
Yeah,
here. Like,
man.
ugh.
Yes. Yes. And that boy Cutter. And everything is a slang. I'll be like, and the way I talk and he talk and different meanings. We had different meanings. It was the same thing, but we said it different. He may say jump off the porch, and I was like, huh? And we may say knee high to a grasshopper or something like that. And I don't know, he might not get it, but
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, it's a
girl.
who are you outside of being an author?
Mm.
Who are you?
You mean like personality
Yes,
wise,
who
or
are
just
you? Who are you outside of? Take the author away. Who is Alecia?
I'm just Alicia Johnson. That's me. I'm a mother. I'm a
Uh-huh.
mother. I'm a wife. I'm an introvert. Like
Uh-huh.
really, a lot of people look at my page and they're like, "Oh, you got so many friends." No, I don't. No, I do not. I know a lot of people, but I ain't got a lot of friends, and I don't. But that's kind of how I like it. I don't like crowds. I don't. I don't. I'm a to myself person, and a lot of people still think, oh, she is outspoken person. No, I'm not. I'm funny. I'm fun to be around, but it's like after so long, I'm looking at my wife like
Ready, ready to
I'm ready to
go.
go home. I'm ready to
Mm-hmm.
go home, honey. But what else? Yeah, yeah, this the type of person I am. Like, I'm a friendly person. I like to have fun, but girl, I just be to myself. I be to myself, honey. That's even on social media. Um, People probably think I'll be on there all the time, baby. I be scheduling them posts. I don't be on social media all the time like that. But yeah, it's me, child. I'm just A homebody. I'm a homebody, honey. My husband be trying to get me to go places so much. I do sometimes. I step out sometimes, but I put on my little makeup and all that kind of stuff. But for the most part, yeah, I'm a homebody
Do
girl.
you do the book signings and stuff like that?
I went to one last year. Wait, yeah, I went to one. I went to the one in Atlanta last year. Yep, and
They have the
I
kickback
enjoyed
coming. You coming to that
it.
one?
I think I'm coming back to that one again this year. Yep. I
Mhm.
enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it.
Yeah.
I was asking, I'm sorry. I was asking my readers, the ladies in my group last night, I was like, well, if y'all know of any, book signings that's going to be going on near where y'all stay, just let me know because I'm thinking about, venturing out and, going to more next year.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
I think it's
Yep.
one coming to it's an event coming to Mississippi.
Oh, girl, now what when?
It will be, I think it's Swallows, maybe.
Tomorrow?
Swallow. I think it's Swallow's event. Uh, don't quote me on that.
Um,
But it's in forgot what month, but it's in Mississippi.
Cause I was looking for one in Mississippi. I heard about. I'm gonna have to. I seen somebody talking about one in Mississippi. Cause I was trying to get one closer to home. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna go Twyla. I have heard of her. I'm gonna look her up when I get off
Now,
of here.
are you signed with a publisher or are you self-published?
Oh, I self published. Mm,
That's
I
good.
started self publishing in like 1, 2, 3, 4 months into 4 months after, no, 3 months after my book was released, my first book. It's crazy. I tell people this story all the time. They don't believe me, but it's true. Um, this woman got in my inbox, and I thought she was like a spam. I thought it was spam or something.
Mhm.
Um, And she kept I looked at the message. She was like, "Hey, I read your book." That's all she said. And I was like, no, 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 no. I never looked at the message for like some days. But when I did look at the message, she was like, "Hey, I read your book." And I'm like, I said, "Okay." I was thanking her, and then she said, I, what was her title? Uh in so many words, she was a test reader, but she was something else. I was
Mhm.
like, "Ooh, she done read my book, and what she got to say about it?" I'm thinking she was a critique. Yeah, she was a critique or
Mhm.
something. I'm like, "Oh Lord." When I like, "Oh, okay," that's what I remember saying. "Oh, okay." I didn't know what else to say. And she was like, "I really think you should go with a publisher because your book doesn't supposed to be where it's at. You should be in the top 10, yada yada yada." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." She was like, "Your book is really good." I said, "Oh, okay." So, she was like, "I'm gonna give you my publisher number and we'll go from there." Um, I contacted the publisher. And I was like, "I really don't want to go with a publisher. Like, I just really didn't. Like, I this is just me. This is me. It ain't, how nobody else feel. I just don't like sharing my money. That's
Yeah.
just me. And
Yeah.
people don't understand that's really the only con of going with a publisher.
Yeah.
You know. Um, it's money. Money. Because the publisher
Especially
gonna
when
get.
you about make the same. I mean, I work with a lot of indie authors as well. So especially when you say if you got 300 reviews and my 150 reviews brought in the same amount as 300 reviews, I mean it's the same. I mean, I got more exposure, but I'm sharing the money, so I'm taking away the same money. So if money is a factor, then I'm definitely gonna bet on myself.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
I
But
agree.
I asked so many people, like when she contacted me and she kept telling me, she said, please think about it. I'm like, okay, I'll sleep on it. That night I asked, I don't know, what is it? That night I asked, the people who are I'm real close to, and all of them was just like, even authors, the few author friends that I got or had, at the time. And they was like, just try it out. I said, yeah, and it's crazy because and that's why I said people didn't believe me because the day before that, I kid you not, I said I wanted to stop writing because I felt like it was too stressful at the time. I had so much other stuff going on. I was like, it wasn't because I was getting good reviews. I was getting all of that was fine. It was just stressful on my end. So I was like, I'm just gonna stop writing. And that's when I opened her message. I promise I opened her message and that's how all this came about. So I contacted her the next day after everybody was like, just give it a try, just give it a try. I did. I did. I did. It it went good for until it didn't no more. So,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
it only lasted for like 4 months, 5 months. It was just, I ain't gonna speak on who the publisher was, but
Yeah, but just for you saying that
yeah.
it right for me, self-publishing is what I choose to do. Just for you. Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel that. I feel that.
Mhm.
I'm like, okay, that's what's coming on here. So when it comes to reviews, we talking about reviews. How do you feel about them?
Um, mm, I feel like they're somewhat important.
Mm-hmm.
Um, to me, um, how can I put this? I look forward to reading reviews that actually not necessarily discuss the book, but the ones that are like they place my name in the review. And what I mean by that is they're like, Alecia, you're this dope author, you're my favorite author, you're blah 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 blah. Instead of them just really not saying that I don't like when they brag about the book, but I feel like with reviews, I'm more swoon towards when I guess it's talking about me as an author
Mm-hmm.
opposed to, what happened in the book. Because the fact that if you how can I put this? How am I trying to put this? um some readers, I'm gonna say this, some readers go off of the reviews.
Mm-hmm.
So if um some readers go after reviews, so I'll just rather, I like when they talk about the review, they talk about how good, but some people get in the reviews and they'll tell the whole book,
They
and
showed it.
I'm like, what, and so that's why I say reviews are somewhat important to me, but only if you're not going to just talk about the whole book,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
give a brief detail of, and I like reading reviews because I like when, like, going back to what I just said, I get so swooned when somebody's like, oh, this is my favorite author, and this is like people I haven't met, or not even my family. So that's why reviews are important to me, because when people say things like that, it motivates me to keep going. Things like that. So that's why reviews are important to me, not so much. I do appreciate when people say they love the book, they like the book, and yada yada. But when somebody actually puts my name in and say, like, you're my favorite author, you do such a good
Oh, you
job.
did your thing on this
That,
thing. Yes.
that,
Okay.
that
Got
that's
you.
what gets me. It's not
Yeah.
so much about them just talking about the book, but when they actually insert me in there,
Yeah.
this that does it for me.
Y'all
Yeah.
hear that, right? So make sure y'all will be lifting her up because
Yeah.
listen, make sure you be putting her name in that thing. Let her
Yeah,
know.
guys.
Because I read a few of your books, and you do your thing. I ain't to keep, like you said, they lengthy, and to keep my attention and to keep flipping them pages, and they entertaining as well.
I know, honey. I know.
Look at us. So I know.
You are hard. You seem like a hard reviewer, honey. So, honey, if I get a A+ from you, that's a good thing, honey. That is good.
Okay. I'm not hard on the review. So
No,
it's so
no,
for
no, no.
me,
Uh-huh.
if it's if I have something negative, if I
Mm-hmm.
hated the book, right? I won't leave a review.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna bash somebody
Yeah.
like that. I'm not gonna do it. But also I will say, you only got a couple of pages. Some people got pages. Some people give you a chapter. Sometimes I give you a chapter. Sometimes I give you 2 chapters. It just depends on pulling me in. Then I know
Yeah.
if the book is for me or not. But
Right.
people, I test read, I beta read, I alpha read. So
Mm-hmm.
doing that, and then I'll do other stuff behind the book. So I am hard when it comes to the background I play, because I'm the person before it gets to the publishing
Yeah.
part.
Now you have to
Yeah,
be hard
yeah. So
then.
I'm
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
So I get somebody to say, "Well, you was looking for the errors." I'm like, "Well, what else was I supposed to be finding? I can't find if the book goes to me first, I can't enjoy the book at first, because I'm making sure the book is right for the person that's getting ready to read it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna have to go in with fine tooth combing for the error, for the problem, for the plot holes, that type
You
of thing. So
right.
yes, so that like, but so if I'm hard that way, but then also I don't read so many books, so
Mm-hmm.
it's the expectation, because sometimes, like you said, you do your outline work. I like that you
Mm-hmm.
said that, because sometimes people don't do, and not that it's wrong, because some people are
Mm-hmm.
really good with keeping it upstairs. Some people are
Mm-hmm.
really good with it, but some people are all over the place. And then to a reader, to an avid reader, reads,
Mm-hmm.
you know that, you see that, you know what's wrong, and you
Mm-hmm.
can't just give them anything. So
Yeah.
yeah, doing your research, do matters. There you go.
It does. It really, really
So what
does.
about negative reviews?
Um,
Do it
negative.
affect you at all?
No, no. Now I'm gonna say this. Now, if I have tons, hundreds of positive reviews, and that little one negative review come along, girl, no, no.
Yeah,
Now,
because it
now,
always
if
our way,
I
right?
Yeah, it's all. That's why I say people don't read at the same levels. Like
Mm-hmm.
when I see somebody say, "Oh, the book wasn't good to me," okay, that's fine. It wasn't up to your, that's fine. That's
Mm-hmm.
fine. Now if a negative review, when I get a review like that, I'm like, that's fine, okay. But now if you coming on there saying, let me tell you this, I did mention something about this before. I don't know. The person must was thought it was another book they read or something, and they was on my review, and they was like, "Who?" They had a name up in there, and they was like, "She," and I had to go back and read the review because it's been a while since I said something about it. But yeah, she had all the details wrong. I'm like, "What book did you
What did you
read?"
read? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so things like that do make me mad because then if somebody do really look at their review, they'll probably think, and they haven't read the book, they'll think those characters are actually in the book. And people, like I said, some readers do go read a book based off reviews. So, that look bad on me if you putting this out here and that ain't happened.
Yeah.
So somebody said they remember that
Yeah,
review.
they remember that
Poor
review. Uh-huh.
Yeah, they remember me going off. I did go off. I did. But I was like, don't do that. Yes, I did. But um um back to what you was asking me to answer your question. Now if it's like what was I gonna say? If it's like a book and I got like, and it's vice versa, where I got tons of bad, which this ain't never happened to me. I'm just saying if it ever did happen. And I got tons of bad reviews and, maybe one or two good reviews. I'm like, I'm looking at myself now. I'm like, what did I do wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what, this on me. So instead of, retaliating or saying, I'm gonna try to go fix the issue. I'm gonna go fix what's going on. It's because
Mm-hmm.
this obviously my fault. So I can't be mad at
Argue with
nobody else,
that,
upset
yeah.
nobody. Yeah, that's my fault. Even though hundreds of however many people already read the book at this point, I'm still gonna go back and fix what I need to fix for the people who haven't read it.
Mm-hmm.
Even though these other people still gonna have their perspective of, well, this what I would, they gonna stick with it. So, but as an author, I did make a mistake in one book, and once it was noted, like by many readers, I immediately went and fixed it. Again, several people had already read the book at that point, but it was a
Mm-hmm.
minor little mistake, but I went back and fixed it. So, I explained it and as an author, I always go back and I explain everything. I try to keep my readers up to point in my group on everything. So yeah, that was a mistake I made. But I didn't really get no bad reviews from it, I ain't gonna say. Because it was like a day in between when people was coming to me about it, and they're like, "Oh, okay, let me go fix it." So
Mm-hmm.
I hurriedly went and fixed it, and it took about a day for Amazon to upload the updates, and after that, it was back to normal. So
And that's one of the benefits of being self-published too. Pulling
yeah,
that book, yeah, pulling that book down, fixing it, and loading
yeah,
back up. I mean, it's like, yeah, it's something you do at that point. It got some other steps to go through.
yeah, girl. So it was. Yeah, but if something is on my end, I'm gonna own up to it as an author immediately. But don't go lying on my stuff now. That'll bring out the
The
not
crooked
the
letter,
author.
crooked letter.
Yeah.
I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. So your journey, what's your writing space look like?
You mean what you
Describe your
mean?
writing space. How do you like? Are you normally you got your own place where you write it? You got a little ritual you do before you get ready to
Um,
write? How you get in the zone?
well, as you can see, I like darkness.
Mhm.
Like this is my little candle thing over here that's lit up. Um, I mean my wax warmer, but it's a big light. I like darkness. I like quietness. Some people like music. Some people like
Right.
I don't like noise. Period. Like I do not like noise. I cannot concentrate. Um. So yeah, I have to be shut off from everything when I'm writing. Um. This how I get my best work done. Yeah. So
Just you,
that's
your
me.
candle,
I
and
don't. I don't have. Huh.
just you, the candle, and the quietness. Yeah.
Yes, girl. Yes. This all. I don't need the fan on. I don't need nothing. I don't need nothing interrupting what I'm doing. Nothing. So yeah. I switch from like writing. Some people like to write outside. I don't. I don't. Um,
Ain't
I need
nothing
to.
about me outside. I just tell my husband,
Some
I like,
people do. Some
no.
people love to write outside. I can't get. Not me. I don't know if it's the weather or I just don't like it. But I I switch from sitting in my bed or I have this little thing that I put my computer on. When I get tired of that, I come to my desk. I really don't like sitting in my desk because my legs start hurting. Depending on how long I'm doing it for. Um, but yeah, those are the main two places where I write. Um,
What keeps you writing?
my readers.
Your readers.
My readers, yes. This just goes back to me reading my reviews When I'm just tired, I mean, people don't understand, like, writing is stressful. People think you just putting stuff on paper. This stuff got to make sense, and it's not easy. It's not easy doing all that. It's not easy to get somebody to love your work. People might like your work, but to get people to actually love your work and to call you their favorite author, that's not easy. So, it comes with a lot of tears and I ain't gonna tell nobody, I done cried a lot of night, so, but it's like on the days that I just want to give up, I go back and I just look at posts that I done made, or I go back and read my reviews, or I just sit here and look at all my books that I done wrote. I'm like, dang, I'm an author. Like, I wrote these books. Like, this came from me. Like, people really support me. People really believe in me. So I can't let these people down, because some of my books and people actually came to me and told me, like, your books done got me through some of my hardest times. So to know that something that I done wrote and probably saved somebody's life or something, that means a lot to me. So yeah, definitely my readers.
Right. You make sure you send some of them books so I can put on these bookshelves. Okay.
Yes, I will. Let me know, girl. Let
Yes,
me
please
know.
do. Please do. Where you see
Yeah.
yourself in 5 years?
Mm.
It's so cliche to ask that question.
It is,
But
because I'm the type of person, like, and this might sound cliche too, but I'm the type of person who likes to live for the present, not so much the future.
yeah.
Not saying that my future don't be on my mind, but I think about, oh, I know what I want to do probably in the next month or two with my writing career. But 5 years from now, I know what I want to do that could possibly, let me see, how can I put this?
Do you want one of them books to be on Tubi?
Girl, yeah, but that's what I'm trying to get to. I'm not thinking about I'm gonna do it. I'm actually doing I'm going to do this screenwriting class next year. So we'll see what goes from there.
Okay.
But yes, girl, I would love to have my books. But like I was telling this girl, she keeps, I ain't gonna say pressure me, but she keeps saying, I want to see your books on TV. And I'm like, girl, it's gonna happen, but honey, it takes time, like money. It
Yeah.
takes money too. And
Money. Yes.
I'm the type, if I do something, this is just me, who I am as a person now. I don't like sloppy work. So I don't like rush work. I don't like sloppy work. So I feel like if you rush something, you're gonna ruin it. So for me, I don't care if it takes 3 years for me to do a movie, but it's gonna be done right. It's gonna be better than Tubi now. But I
Probably
still
better
love
too.
Tubi. I still love Tubi, but
Now, when I get off of here, I'm going to go finish my Tubi movie. So
nah, now that movie, it was okay. I ain't gonna sit here and tell you it was the best. It's no one. It was
I just haven't watched TV.
it, yeah,
Yeah, I
it
just
was
haven't
okay.
watched TV.
It was okay, if I can
Mhm.
remember. Yeah, I remember what it was about. If it's the same movie with the Jeffrey from
Yeah, that's what he kept. Yeah, that's what he kept saying. Yeah.
Half and
But
Half
I
Nine.
did watch this family family swap or family switch on Netflix. It is really good. I was dying laughing. Yeah, it's really good. Gotta check it out.
I'm gonna watch that one. I'm
Well,
actually.
Miss Arthur Alicia, we thank you for joining us.
We came to an end.
Thank you. Huh?
Said we didn't came to an
We
end.
done came to an end. We're about to ask you, where can we find your books? Is they all
On
on
Amazon,
Amazon?
Amazon for now. I'm trying to work on getting them. place somewhere else, honey. But actually, y'all don't stay here, but my books are in my public library.
Oh, go
Yes,
girl.
yes, and I'm trying to see how I can get them in like Barnes and Nobles and all that. Yeah, I'm trying to work on all of it.
Yeah,
It's a process, but
traditional publishing.
huh?
Traditional publishing. Start getting your books in Barnes and Noble and Walmart and all that. It's a lot of things come to play with that. Make sure you get
What is
somebody that can read
traditional
over some
publishing?
a bigger publisher to get your work into Barnes and Noble. I'll talk to you about it. Walmart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a few other things play a factor. Sometimes you have to have the books already written,
Mm-hmm.
pre-written regarding on the contract, so some kind of certain contractual agreements are put in place. So make sure you have somebody to look at all the fine print when considering that. But I definitely will get up with you and let you know more about
Yes,
how to
please do.
proceed. Yes, I will.
Thank you.
I will. I will. I will. All right. Well, guys, do y'all guys have any questions? Any questions? Toya,
Oh,
where
they
you
look.
at?
You
Hold
already
on,
know I
wait.
always got questions, and this is my favorite. So
And that was author Alecia J with us. Thank you for joining us, coming in, gracing us with your presence.
Thank y'all for having me. I really enjoyed tonight. I really,
Yes.
really did.
And guys, you can catch her work on Amazon at the local library as well.
Mm-hmm.
And join us next week. You have a special guest for you guys. Talk to you later between the pages. Bye.
Bye.